Hello and welcome back to the Saint of Broken Glass. My name is Jen Silva and Petey's here today. Say hi, Petey. I just wanted to talk a little bit today about how to connect with people in pain. So as a peer specialist, we are allowed to tell people a little bit about what we went through, only for the purpose of connecting with them, to share similarities, to help them with their journey. I work in a hospital. I work in a psychiatric hospital. It is Western Psych. It is in a part of Oakland, which is part of Pittsburgh, PA, part of the University of Pittsburgh campus. So I work in that hospital now as a peer specialist, and I go from floor to floor. And I, tell people who I am, and I let people know that I'm a person in recovery and I used to be a patient in this hospital. Sometimes, most of the times, people don't know what a peer specialist is, especially on floors that don't have one. Not every floor has a peer specialist there. And also, when I say I'm a person in recovery, people also don't seem to not know what that means some of the time. A lot of people will ask, what I'm recovering from, what was my addiction. A lot of the language is assumed that you have an addiction. However, I've never had a drug and alcohol substance abuse problem. I'm in recovery from my mental health issues. So I let people know the third step. I'm a peer specialist, I'm a person in recovery, and I used to be a patient here. That way, they can directly know that in some way or shape or form that I know, that I understand what it's like to be a patient there. So that's how I connect with people. I connect with people not based on their situations, but more based on emotions. So I know what it's like to be scared, to be forgotten about, to be unheard, to be in pain, to be angry. I don't know so much about people's situations when I go see them. They'll tell me, but I don't, usually have been through a lot, but usually not everything. I've never been through a custody battle with kids. I've never been through a divorce. I've never, served in the military and had PTSD. I've never, lost a child and somebody might be there for postpartum depression. So I just generalize things and focus on people's pain. So yeah, I know how frustrating it is to be here in the hospital. You can't have your phone. You can't see your kids because they're too young to come in here. There's an age restriction to come visit in the psychiatric hospital. Yeah, I know how frustrating it is to be in this hospital. I know what it's like to not be heard. I felt like my doctors didn't listen to me. That must be so frustrating for you as well. So I more like connect on emotions that people are having, and that's how I connect with people's pain and connect with them as a peer specialist to make that, open up for other conversations. So I recently got a letter. I have a letter from a young man. His name is Atreyu. So Atreyu is kind of a stranger, but not a stranger. He is my screenwriter's son, who I've never met, but he is a warrior. He's named after Atreyu in the movie Neverending Story, and he has been on his own journey in the past year. He was diagnosed with sickle cell when he was born. And this year, they had selected him for treatment for a cure for sickle cell. So my screenwriter has told me a little off and on about his journey. Like I said, I've never met him. I've only met my screenwriter in person one time. But I've heard about his struggles, and I always encourage people and let people know there's always something you can do for somebody else. You are never helpless or hopeless. You can always, at the very least, pray for somebody. There is always prayer for somebody. I let my little 12-year-old niece know when my nephew Steven passed at the funeral. I said, I don't want you to feel like there's nothing you could do. I said, you could be the best, cousin to your cousin, and he would love that so much. So there's always something you could do. I try to remind myself that, to not feel helpless and hopeless. I feel like there's always something you could do, if the very least is prayer, which is, a lot for the person. But I decided, so Atreyu was admitted to the hospital for a few months to get the cure, ongoing treatment for sickle cell cure. He had to go through chemotherapy, and this is a young man in his early 20s. I couldn't imagine, what he went through. He was in a lot of pain. He had to get multiple blood transfusions, chemotherapy. He had to, basically live in the hospital for a few months. I am happy to say that he is sickle cell free. He received this treatment for the cure, and he is cured. Amen to that. God is good. When he was in the hospital, I decided to send him, a bunch of things to do, a bunch of Legos. I also decided to write him a letter. So I used to write my best friend, Tiffany, in college. We used to be pen pals after I left college. We used to write each other. So I love to write. I love to write on, pen and paper, to people. So I decided to write Atreyu a letter. And like I said, I've never met him. I also have written my pastor's wife, at our church. I've never met her. I've been there about 5 years in the bell choir, and she apparently, I don't know if she's ever come out of her house. I don't know if she's bedridden, what the case is, although Pastor Adam tells us that, she has Lyme's disease and it progressed to, an autoimmune disorder. So I just decided to write her. Also, she's a perfect stranger, but I couldn't imagine the pain she's in, especially having to stay in her house. I hope she got it. I hope Pastor Adam got it to her. But I do let people know that when they think they are weak, they are strong for fighting, for their life and fighting through their pain, and hopefully trusting God is there to listen to them and heal them. So that's what I kind of focus on in my letters to people, to let them know they're not alone. I don't exactly know what they're going through, but I want them to know that they're not alone, and they can talk right back to me if they want to. And Atreyu took me up on that. So I'm just going to open his letter. I was very excited to see it. I could imagine how many cards he got and presents and all that. I think Eric said that he read A Dove in the Shadows book. So this is a young man. I don't know if he's ever written a letter to anybody. So, oh, that's really cute. There's little, he must have a little Fujifilm camera. I've never actually seen the little Polaroids that come from them. Oh, they're actually really cute. So it's a picture of all the Legos that I sent him, and it looks like he built them. So that's really cute. Oh, I hope we had fun doing that. They look like they turned out good. They look bigger than what I thought they were gonna be. I just ordered them from Target, and they were shipped straight to him, so I never actually got to see them on the shelves or anything. So I just wanted to read this. Wow, he actually wrote more than I did. Eric, my screenwriter, was surprised. He's like, "What did you write for 3 pages?" I'm like, "I don't really remember. I just write and I get lost in it." So this says, "Dear Jen, I hope you'll be able to read my handwriting." It's actually really good. It's not bad at all. My husband's is worse. It hasn't been the best, and it's been a while since I've used pen and paper. I know
You gave me your phone number so I could have texted you, but I wanted you to know how much your packages meant to me, and I thought the best way to convey that would be with a letter of my own. Oh, how nice. I hope it goes without saying, but I am so, 3 times, thankful for everything you sent me while I was in the hospital. As you probably already know, I am home now, and the recovery process is going smoothly. Thank goodness. Um, Admittedly, not as smooth as I would have hoped, as I had planned to write this as soon as I got home, but I was just so fatigued, so I apologize for the delay. I wasn't expecting you to write Atreyu, so anything at any time is a blessing. I cannot stress enough how grateful I am for the packages you sent, as the holidays were a rough time for me, and your packages gave me something to look forward to. That was the point of it, so I'm glad it worked out that way. My dad was probably right when he told you they wouldn't allow a remote control car, as it was primary a wing for the elderly, and we wouldn't want them to trip. So Legos were for the best. I thought, give him something to do at night. Maybe get him a remote control car to zip up and down the hallways. He loves Mario Kart, so I thought that was a great idea, but apparently it wouldn't have been the best. I mean, you're never too old for a remote control car, right? Especially Mario Kart. But I thought about building them in the hospital, but I couldn't figure out how I get them home safely, so I waited. I always get sad when a Lego set breaks after it's been built. Oh, I've literally only had one Lego set. It's a little car, but I couldn't imagine spending all that time. It worked out though, because I was able to build them together with my family on my birthday. Oh, that's great, which was really nice. I remembered what you said too and sent some Polaroid pictures of the completed set with this letter. My dad seemed to think that idea was a little ridiculous. What? That's not ridiculous. These little, these are so cute. These are so cute. There's these little Mario Karts and Donkey Kong, and they're so cute. My dad seemed to think this idea was a little ridiculous, and if you agree with him, I apologize. But I also took some pictures with my phone that you should get hopefully not too long after you get this. If you already got the pictures, then I apologize for texting you that with no context, lol. I wanted you to read this first. You apologize too much, Atreyu. You don't have to apologize for anything. I have not been to Kennywood, so next time I get out to Pittsburgh, you'll have to take me there. Deal. Deal. In return, if I'm done quarantining by then, I could take you and your husband to Six Flags. Oh, I've never been to Six Flags. That sounds amazing. If you decide to come to Cali for your 10th anniversary, Six Flags is my favorite theme park. I've heard of it. I think there's one on the East Coast, maybe. Well, Florida, maybe. Virginia, I'm not sure. That might be Busch Gardens. I don't know. Maybe Busch Gardens is closed. I don't remember. I don't think I've ever been to San Francisco. It's crazy how you can live in a state your whole life and still see so little of it. But then again, travel is expensive. Very expensive. We plan to take a 10-year anniversary trip to California, road trip. So maybe we'll have to work it out that we get to see Atreyu. Was the rosary you made for me made out of sea glass? Absolutely. It was made out of sea glass. All my rosaries are made out of sea glass. I do put little spacer beads that are just little crystal beads, so you could tell that those are plastic. But yes, all my rosaries are made out of sea glass that I have personally picked, found. PD picked, PD found them, he sniffed them out, or my husband. So we collaboratively look for the glass together. We collect it. I sort it. I pick the best pieces for rosaries, the ones that are less likely to break. When I drill them, I put them together. It's a whole process, but I will put the link in for my Etsy store at the end. It's called Glass Jewelry by Jenny, and you could purchase a decadent or a full-size rosary, and it is Lake Erie sea glass. Where did I leave off? Okay, absolutely. It was sea glass. If so, it was gorgeous. Well, it was gorgeous either way. Thank you for that as well. I can't say that I know what the reason I've gone through all that I have is, nor can I say that I know what God's plan for me entails yet. And that's okay, Atreyu. I let people know that when they're having a hard time, they might not be able to see, clearly, God's plan. They may be caught in the anger, the grief. Why me? Why me? Why am I going through this? But in my case, it was shown to me further along in my journey. So I hope that's the same for you. He says, what I do know is that I'm extremely grateful for all the people in my life, the people who support me, pray for me, and stay with me in my times of need. I'm so glad you have that, Atreyu. And I am thankful for the connections my family and I make that allow people like you and your mom into my life. My mom also talked to Eric to get memories of me to write into the film. So my mom also was aware of Atreyu's journey, and I believe she did send a card. Someone who, despite barely knowing me, would go to such lengths and pray for me every day that I am sick. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Stay safe and be well. Sincerely, Atreyu. So that's really nice. That is so nice, and I'm glad that he took me up on writing back. And we might have to revisit our plans in California and see where Six Flags is. I'm not sure where that is. We'll have to see. So yeah, again, I encourage people to not be scared that they don't know what to say to somebody who's going through a lot. I always encourage people to say anything. Anything is better than nothing. Even if you just say, I'm here for you, I will listen to you when you're ready to talk. That is literally anything anybody can say at any time, at any point of anybody's life, whether it's going good, whether it's going bad. So I encourage people to say something, to write something, to let people know they're not alone, to let people know that, hey, somebody cares about you, a perfect stranger, cares about you, wants to make that connection. My mom was praying for him. We never met. Hopefully we will. But yeah, I just wanted to read that on camera, just for an example that you never know what a small random act of kindness can do for somebody and lift their spirits. And I encourage people to also, consider how they could help, the people that they know or somebody else that is struggling with mental health or some kind of pain, some kind of journey that they're on, to let them know that they're not alone. So thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and I hope to make another video soon. So take care and like and please subscribe to the channel and have a great day. I hope you are safe, I hope you are sane, and may you have hope. God bless.